everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny, and I am here, of course, with my co-host, Caleb. How are you doing today, buddy?
Can't complain very much. Not really much to complain about, truthfully.
And even if you did, who would listen?
Exactly.
Well, we have a lot to go over today. Due to us having a guest in the previous episode, we just did not cover all of the news that we had, but I believe it was a good episode. I believe that it was insightful, and I'm very excited, very happy, and hopefully it leads to bigger and better things. So, we do want to go ahead, and if you didn't catch that episode, by the way, we interviewed Zara, aka Fifth Rate Duelist, and you should absolutely go check that out. That was a very good interview.
Oh yeah, probably one of the best conversations I think we've ever had.
Yes, definitely a good one. In the meantime, we do want to give a huge shout out to all of our wonderful patrons. So, a huge thank you to Austin Johnson, Kane Martin, Mocha, Myth Oceanus, Pig, Scuzz Daddy, AD, Aaron Gardner, Anthony Lila, Damian Zink, Mountain Man, Owen Alvarado, Cyber, Jeremy Drysdale, Ray Powell, and Sunny Sweet. Thank you to all of our patrons, including our new ones. Oh my goodness. It's so wonderful to look down and just see new people as our patrons. So we have quite a lot to get into today. We are going to talk about probably 20 plus new cards, and we have the full set spoiler from Brothers of Legend, and we want to talk about all of last weekend's, so like 10 days ago now, as of the time of this airing, all of the tournament results. I know we're behind, we're late, I'm sorry. We were going to cover this in last Friday's episode, but again, I really feel like the interview takes precedence there. So.
Oh yeah.
But that's fine. We can cover it today, and hopefully on the coming episode we can go ahead and we can get the what's it called? There's a word for it. We can get all the tournament results for this weekend.
Yeah.
Which we have some of, but not all of.
Yeah. Yeah. We kind of want to give them all in one go rather than splitting up between multiple episodes and.
Right. Whew. So, let's go ahead, and the first thing we're going to talk about is
some new cards.
Yep. So the first card to talk about is the first ritual pendulum monster, which is called Performapal Gentrude. It is a level 4 fiend dark pendulum monster. It is a hold on, wait.
Well, Gentrude isn't the ritual.
Okay, yeah,
yet.
Gentrude is not the ritual. I'm sorry.
But he is a new monster.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to cover, there's 2 regular ritual effect monsters, and then there's a...
the Pendulum Ritual.
Yeah, there's...
Pendulum Ritual.
There's 2 regular, Pendulum Effects, and then there's the Pendulum Ritual, and then there's a Spell and a Trap,
yeah,
so...
all kinds of tongue-twisted with Pendulum Ritual, Xyz, Synchro Fusion.
Yes, so this is from the new pack coming up, right?
Yeah, from Diffo.
Which is...
I could not tell you. Give me just 1 second. Let's see. That would be...
We definitely did not even cover that we know the name of the next set.
Yeah, we did. Hold on, let me pull that up real quick.
Wow, that's on us. That's on us, everybody.
It's been wild. Hold on 1 second.
So, but we do have the name of the new set, and
Dimension Force.
Yes, Dimension Force.
We did talk about this before. We just forgot because it's been a while.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's been crazy. So these are the first few pendulum cards out of Dimension Force. Now, Dimension Force is, I'm not going to say like a pendulum set.
But I mean, with Dimension, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pendulum-based set.
Right. So, at least we know the name, and we know the first wave of what's coming out of here. Yep. So, first one, like I said, is Performapal Gentrude. This is an effect pendulum monster, level 4 Dark Fiend, 1500 attack, 1000 defense. Pendulum scale is 8. The Pendulum Effect. You can only use the Pendulum Effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are Pendulum monsters, and you have Performapal Lady Ange in your other Pendulum zone, you can add one Odd Eyes card from your deck to your hand. Monster Effect. You can only use one of the first and second monster effects of this card's name once per turn. Wait, you can only use one of the first and second monster effect of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn.
Yeah, meaning that once per turn, you can activate its 1 or 2 effect, not both.
First and second. They're
Yeah.
both hard once per turns.
Yeah, but you can only use one or the other, not both.
No, because I would say first or second monster effects of this card's name.
You can only use one of the first.
It's a super hard once per turn, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if this card is destroyed, you can place one Performapal Pendulum monster from your deck in your Pendulum Zone except Performapal Gentrude. 2. If this card is face up in your extra deck, you can discard one other Pendulum monster, add this card to your hand. Then you can return one Performapal or Odd Eyes card from the Pendulum Zone to the hand. I'm just going to say, this card seems cracked.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it would depend on how good its other Lady Ange is.
Well, let's find out. I'll let you do this one.
Okay, we have Performer Pal Lady Ange, level 3 Light Fairy Pendulum, 1000 attack, 1500 defense, so the exact opposite. Pendulum scale of 1. So 1 to 8, that's pretty good. That's levels 2 to 7 Pendulum Summon.
Yeah.
Pendulum Effect. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving both players' monsters, you can discard a Pendulum monster. Your opponent's battling monster loses 1000 attack at the end of this turn. It's not great. Monster effects. You can only use one of the first and second effects as monster effects name once per turn, and only once that turn. You can discard this card in one other Pendulum monster except itself to draw 2 cards.
Yo.
It's a 1 for 1, but actually it's a 2 for 2. That's still cycling 2 cards to draw 2. That's not bad. If this card is in your graveyard and you control an Odd Eyes card or Performapal Gentrude, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone.
Yeah, but you got to think about some of the other cards that are considered Performapal cards.
Exactly. That's just the discarding itself plus another Performapal not name itself to draw 2 is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and then when you think about it, if you throw this in your Pendulum scale and you can put Gentrude in your other Pendulum scale, then it lets you search any Odd Eyes card.
Like not only that, you also have to remember, something else you have to keep in mind is that if you have it and a Gentrude on board, you can basically get a free +1. Normal summon the Gentrude, pitch another Performapal in it, draw 2, effect to put in your Pendulum Zone.
Yeah, it's potentially very good.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what else we get. Now for the actual ritual Pendulum monster, the very first ritual Pendulum monster.
Woo! Odd Eyes Pendulum Graft Dragon, a level 7 light dragon ritual pendulum monster, 2700 attack, 2500 defense. Pendulum scale is 4. Pendulum Effect. You can use the Pendulum Effect with this card's name only once per turn. 1. During the end phase, you can add one ritual spell from your deck or hand or graveyard to your hand, then return this card to the hand.
That's hilarious!
That is kind of funny. Wow.
Oh, Lord.
Wow, it's just a generic ritual spell searcher.
Yeah, all you have to do is put it in your Pendulum Zone.
Huh.
Granted, it is during the end phase, but
Still. Monster effects must be either pendulum summoned from the hand or ritual summoned. So you cannot pen summon this card from the extra deck.
yeah.
You can ritual summon this card with Odd Eyes Advent. 1. Each time your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, inflict 300 damage. 2. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell card or quick effect, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone, and if you do, negate that effect. Then, if this ritual summoned card was placed in the Pendulum Zone, you can special summon one Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck. Oh, that could be really good.
Hold on. It doesn't say face up extra deck, so you could actually pump out any Odd Eyes extra deck monster, any of the fusions, any of the Exceeds, any of the Synchros.
Oh.
But then if they're destroyed by battle card effect, they go into your Pendulum Zone still because you just can't special summon out of your graveyard.
Yeah, but they go into your Pendulum Zone because almost all of the Pendulum extra deck monsters have the effect.
That was saying if they get popped, instead of going to the top of the extra deck of the graveyard, they go to your Pendulum Zone instead. So
That's not bad.
Yeah. I would have to see what the specific Odd Eyes extra deck monsters like their monster effects and their. But if they're good, this could be really broken, real easy. particularly because you don't have to, ritual summon this thing. You can just pendulum summon out of your hand.
Right.
Which, being level 7, I think that's what Performer Pals do, is do levels 2 to 7 normally, like natively.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have no idea.
Neither do I. I'm not entirely sure, but based off of what little I've seen of them in the past, this seemed to be the kind of thing that they could do. Next card is a normal spell card called Extra Pendulum, or in Japanese, EXP.
Ha!
1. During your main phase this turn, you can conduct a pendulum summon of a monster from your extra deck in addition to your pendulum summon. You can only gain this effect once per turn. Literally, it just lets you pendulum summon a monster out of your extra deck.
Only one.
Yeah, it's a more limited pendulum summon, but it's an extra pendulum summon. It's a double summon. It's not... This could be good. It could also be terrible. I'm not entirely sure because I don't know how pendulum decks work. A lot of this seems to be to ride on the back of whether or not pendulum is good. Then there's a trap card. It's a trap card. It's called Pendulum Scale, normal trap.
It's gonna be so good with all the pendulum trap decks, right?
Exactly. If you have 2 cards in your pendulum zone, apply one of these effects based on the difference between their current pendulum scales. Oh boy. 0, destroy 2 spells or traps on the field. 1 to 3, add 1 level 2, 3, or 4 pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. Okay. 4 to 6, add a level 5, 6, or 7. Okay. 7 or more, return up to 2 cards from your pendulum to the hand, and then special summon a pendulum monster from your hand.
Wow, this would be crazy if it was a normal spell.
If it was just a spell card in general, it doesn't matter what kind of spell. If it was a quick play spell, it'd be cracked.
Yeah, if this was a spell, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
The problem is it's a trap card, and literally no pendulum deck plays trap cards. So,
as far as I know, anyway.
Yeah, because you don't want traps. You want scales.
Exactly, which are spells.
In the wise words of Farfa, Glasgow Yu-Gi-Oh, he says, yeah, but like, don't you just want more scales?
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly.
Next card. So this one is coming from the Duelist pack. What's the Duelist pack? Something of the Abyss. The Water Duelist pack.
Yeah.
Where all the Mako Tsunami support's coming in.
Yeah. And the Shark support.
Right. So this is Sea-Xyz Naffle Asylum Chaos Knight. It is a Water Aqua Xyz effect monster. Rank 6, 2000 attack, 3000 defense. 3 level 6 monsters. That is hard to summon in any deck.
Hold on, you can also exceed summon this card by using Naffle Asylum Heth Knight you control as material.
Oh, okay.
It's a rank up, I guess.
Yeah, where you summon it on top of the other.
Yeah.
So you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1, cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay. 2, you can detach 1 material from this card. Special summon 1 number exceeds monster that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name from your extra deck by using this face-up card you control as material, but destroy it during your opponent's next end phase. This is treated as an exceed summon. Transfer this card's materials to the summoned monster. So, it lets you summon like the Shark Drake Vice.
No, because he's not. I don't know.
Number 101.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If he's 101, yeah, it's any number monster from 101 to 10. Huh. Yeah. Well, you could do Shark Drake, or you could do Shark Drake Vice, the Chaos upgrade form.
That's the ones I know, like
off the top of your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that could be really good, depending upon what the other ones are. I mean, because I think summoning Shark Drake Vice would be really good. Or even just summoning Shark Drake. Oh, you know what you could do? If you have the rank up spell in hand, summon this guy, pull out Shark Drake, and then just rank up into Shark Drake Vice and doesn't leave the field.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do.
All right, so
That could be good. Maybe. I don't know.
like in theory. Next we have some cards from Premium Pack 2022, which is the basically like our Brothers of Legend or Battles of Legend set. This is the equivalent in the OCG. It's either that or no, because Grand Creators was its own set over there. So yeah, this is the equivalent of like our Brothers or Battles of Legend set. So,
I think the Brothers of Legend thing was just kind of a haha, Karibo Brothers, haha.
Yeah.
So first card we have...
I'll let you take the first couple here.
We have Performer Pal Odd Eyes Butler. He's a Performer Pal, he's Odd Eyes, and he's a Butler.
More Performer Power cards. Oh boy.
And Odd Eyes. Level 5 Dark Spellcaster Pendulum, 1000 attack, 2100 defense, Pendulum scale of 2. Pendulum Effect. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can add a Odd Eyes Pendulum monster from your graveyard to your face-up extra deck. And if you do, negate the attack and gain life points equal to that Pendulum monster's attack. Negate an attack, get some resources back.
Right.
And gain some life points, so I guess if you're about to go into time...
In theory.
Let's see. Monster effects. You can only use this card's name's first monster effect once per turn. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, target a Performer Pal or Odd Eyes monster card you control, except itself, special summon this card, then destroy the target. That could let you pop your exceed your extra deck ones. Plus get a free body on board. 2. If this card is destroyed in the monster zone, place this card in your Pendulum zone. Next up, we have Performer Pal Odd Eyes Valet. Level 1 light spellcaster, 100 attack, 200 defense, Pendulum scale of 8. Pendulum Effect. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can activate this effect. That monster loses 300 attack for each Pendulum monster in your face-up extra deck.
Oh boy.
That's just silly. Monster Effect. You can only use this card's name's one monster effect once per turn. 1. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send an Odd Eyes or Performer Pal monster except itself from your deck to the graveyard. And if you do, this card's level becomes the same as that monster's level to the end of the turn. That's not bad.
It's not the worst.
That's some level modulation.
Yeah.
2. If this card is destroyed in the monster zone, place it in your Pendulum zone.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
Next is Performer Pal Barrow Karibo. I guess he's supposed to be like a lord or a baron.
He's a baron.
Yeah.
Baron Karibo.
Because he's got like the little like powdered wig and like the little coat, like a...
That would make him Baron von Karibo. Baron von Karibo.
No, I'm just imagining Karibo as like a level 10 synchro that can negate Baron Karibo. Baron de Karibo.
Chevalier de Baron de Karibo.
Oh my goodness. Oh, can we get Karibo in here with like a flowery like outfit and like a negate? All right, that's a level 8 Dark Fiend Pendulum Effect monster. 300 attack, 3000 defense. Pen scale 1. Pendulum Effect. Once per turn at the start of the battle phase, you can add one monster with 300 attack and 200 defense from your deck to your hand, then destroy this card.
That search for literally any Karibo.
Right. Monster Effect. When a monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card from your hand. 2. Your opponent cannot attack other monsters you control. 3. If this card is attacked, change it to attack position at the end of the damage step. So it's like okay. It's basically like Battle Fader, but worse.
It's a slightly better Big Show Gardner.
Yeah, because he's got like 3k defense, and like they have to attack it.
Yeah.
So...
But then if they do, he gets forced into attack, and they just run it over like it's a Karibo. But
it's funny.
But no. I think they would pretty much only ever use this thing as a Rhoda. You just plop it down into your...
Yeah, it's literally just a Karibo Rhoda.
Yeah, but it's a monster.
It's a Karibro Rhoda.
It's a Karibroda.
Ah, I knew it was there somewhere. All right, next, also from the new premium pack, we have Raiko's Puppets is the name of the article, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so the lower level cards of R's main deck destruction strategy arrive. This is all puppet monsters. Oh, it's like puppet chess pieces.
Yeah, no, it's the Puppet King and the Puppet Queen that we got as like promos back in the Gap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I vaguely remember them.
I 0% remember them
because they were terrible.
Okay, well, I'll let you take the two monsters and I'll take the spell. There's only three cards here.
Yeah,
so.
First off we have Puppet Pawn, level 3 Earth Warrior, 800 attack, 1200 defense. Oh no, an Earth Warrior. You can only use this card's 2 and 3 effects once per turn. It can attack your opponent directly. And when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, add a promotion from your deck to your hand. 3. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Add an Earth Warrior from your deck to your hand, except itself. Then your opponent can add one monster from their deck to their hand.
Oh.
That's awful. Why would they do that? What?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Next up is Puppet Rook. Hold on. Just, yeah, let me get a search so I can give my opponent the free hand trap. Just search a nib. Let's go.
Search nib. Let's go.
Next up is Puppet Rook. Level 4 Earth Warrior. 1200 attack, 1800 defense. When this card is a normal summon, you can change this card to defense position. If you do, Foolish Burial, and Earth Warrior monsters. Send it from deck to graveyard. That's not bad. Your opponent's monsters must attack this card if able. Yeah, that's alright. 1800 defense. 3. Once per turn, when this card is selected for an attack, target a level 6 or higher Earth Warrior monster in the graveyard. Send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon the monster from the graveyard, then change the attack target to this monster. So normal summon, effect, mill out one of your big, like the queen or king, and then if they attack it, you get it. And then they're forced to ram into it.
Right.
And then next up is the actual spell card that the first guy was talking about, Promotion.
Right. So this is Promotion, a normal spell card. You can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. 1. Target one level 3 or lower Earth Warrior monster you control. Send it to the graveyard. And if you do, special summon one level 4 or higher Earth Warrior monster from your deck. Then, if you control a puppet monster with an original type and attribute Warrior and Earth, the monster special summoned by this effect gains 100 attack defense for each card in your opponent's graveyard. Whoa!
Yeah, just and it's searchable too, which is...
Oh, and then it gives you a list of legal target for its effects.
Yep.
Puppet Pawn, Puppet Rook, Puppet Queen, and Puppet King.
Yeah, Puppet Pawn being level 3, Puppet Rook, King, and Queen being 4 or higher.
Yes. So, okay, so this is like when you move your chess piece all the way to the end of the board, and it gets to your opponent's line, and you can promote your pawn to something else.
Yeah, like it very specifically has to be a pawn.
Right.
But yeah, it's really interesting.
I will just say this, though. This does not specify that, like, this is just Earth Warrior support.
Oh yeah, like the only part of their effects that specify it only works with other puppet monsters pretty much is just Promotion. And even then,
no, I mean like Promotion, like it says legal puppet targets for its effect.
Yeah,
so that's like
but
if you
that's
control
only...
a puppet monster, so that's like specifying that you can't summon like Puppet Plant, right?
Yeah.
But it says,
but that's only to apply the attack boost.
Right, exactly.
But wait, hold on. It actually specifies if you control a puppet monster. Meaning if you have, like, let's say you already have Rook or King or Queen on board, and you send Pawn and bring out a first Earth Warrior that comes to mind. Guy the Fierce Knight.
Sure.
Bring out Guy the Fierce Knight. He still gets the attack boost because you still control a puppet monster.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting that, like I said, you can send Marauding Captain.
Yeah, and still get this effect off, no problem.
Right.
And pull out Freed the Matchless General or whatever. Just whatever Earth Warriors we can think of to come to mind.
My first thought is, like, there's gotta be a way to abuse this in Heroes.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I'm sure
maybe not, because
the deck builders will figure that one out, I'm sure.
Yeah, people much smarter than us will figure out if that card is worth attempting to abuse.
Yep.
Let's see.
Next is the next V-Jump promo.
Real quick, all we have is the name. Which
and like a description of the card, but not like flavor text.
Yeah. Oh, and it's attack and defense and all that. So it's called Yasuka Ikazuchi no Kami.
Not Yazuka. Yakuza.
Oh, here we go. The monster seems to be based on the Yaku Sano Kazuchi, a collective name for the 8 deities of Japanese mythology. It is a worm effect, level 8. It's a worm light level 8 monster with 2,000 attack and defense. And its effect is a secret, but it's been described as having 2 effects that are usable while there's a level 8 monster in the graveyard. But it's a worm. It's a level 8 worm monster.
Yo, this card is just like, oh, Sword Soul, you turn 2 on Sword Soul, you cracked my board, okay.
Time to punish.
Right, time to punish and make a Felgrand.
We'll have to wait and see, because because I've read people talking about, and they said this is indirect. This might be indirect Felgrand support somehow. I don't know how. We'll have to wait to see the effects. But if it's just generic,
well, because the Felgrand Xyz monster that came out after we left the game It's just a generic 2 level 8s.
Oh, okay. So I guess Felgrand just kind of became rank 8 turbo.
It's just the one.
Well, I mean, just in general, level 8 do stuff.
Like the Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand or whatever was literally just an Xyz version retrain of
Felgrand, yeah, old
the
Felgrand.
original Felgrand Dragon.
Yeah.
So there's only like 2 of them. This is not like Felgrand as an archetype. This is just like level 8 support. But what I'm saying is, in Sword Soul,
you pump out.
If this guy can just summon himself out and then you can pump out a level 8 worm, then you can just, because this guy's searchable. So then you can just do that and then do 2 level 8s and go up into Felgrand.
Yeah. Well. Here's what I think. Here's what I think his effect's going to be. It's probably going to be if there's level 8 in your graveyard, push summon it in the level 8.
But negate the level 8's effects.
Yeah, but then you can just make any rank 8 you want. Which then kind of gives on the clapback if their board gets broken, but they don't get OTK'd, Sword Soul to have a play.
Right.
Possibly even go into an exceed play since you don't have one of your tuner tokens on board.
Yeah.
Again, we'll have to wait to see what its actual effect is. But this is definitely something Sword Soul players need to keep their eye on.
Yes. Next, we have some more Premium Pack 2022 cards, which are Battlefield Tragedy first.
Yeah.
As a continuous spell, you can only use this card's name's first effect once per turn. During your main phase 2, if no monsters battled each other this turn, you can discard 1 card, set 1 Battlefield Tragedy directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone. 2, once per turn during the end phase, if 2 monsters battled each other this turn, the turn player sends the top 5 cards of their deck to the graveyard. I mean, it's like a mill 5.
But hold on. If you activate 1, discard a card. Oh no. Then you let's say this already turns the resort bin over. You activate it, enter battle, leave battle, activate effect, discard 1, add it, get a second 1 on board. Immediately flip and activate it.
Right, but then you have to wait a whole turn before you can mill 10.
Well, no, because then you pass back to your opponent, and if you have a monster on board, they have to decide whether or not I should attack. Even if it's
because
well, hold on. Here's my thoughts. Normal summon Inspector Border.
Oh, this is mandatory also.
Yeah, so normal summon Inspector Border. Just an example. Activate, enter battle, leave battle, effect to set, immediately flip it, pass. Attack me. I dare you. Attack my Inspector Border. I dare you.
Yes, that's interesting.
Just as even just normal summon Barrier Statue.
Yeah, but then that would have to be their only attack. Well, usually it is, because they normal summon once attack, and then...
Yeah, and then they'll have to mill 10 for the attack.
Interesting.
It's got some... And then let's say your opponent enters battle and you do something, and then they don't declare an attack and end their turn, and in their battle phase, you can discard 1, do it again, and get the third one out. Which is silly.
It is funny.
Next card is Performant Pal Classic Karibo.
So this is not classist Karibo.
Classy.
Right, like classical, because it's obviously it's supposed to be like a maestro, because he's got like a little baton
with a musical note at the end of it.
His little coat has a bass clef on it.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Yeah.
Let's see. It is level 1 Pendulum.
Yet another well-dressed Karibo.
Yeah. Pendulum scale of 8, so we have the other one. 300 attack, 200 defense, Pendulum Effect. 1. When an opponent's monster declares in a direct attack, destroy this card.
Huh.
That's his Pendulum Effect. Monster Effect. You can only use this card's names 1 and 2 monster effects once per turn each. 1. You can discard this card, then target 1 card in your Pendulum Zone. Its Pendulum scale becomes 1 until the end of this turn.
That's interesting.
2. When you take battle damage and this card is in your graveyard, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone. 3. If this card is destroyed by its own Pendulum Effect in the battle phase.
Oh, so it's like Battle Fader with more steps.
Yeah, you activate it and it's sitting there in your Pendulum Zone, and your opponent knows it's there.
Yeah.
But then they'll all... Oh, hold on. Normal summon barrier, one of the barrier statues.
Mm-hmm.
Activate Battle Tragedy. Set the second. Activate the second once you have 2. Normal summon this thing. Pass. Well, pendulum summon this thing in the pendulum scale. Pass. Oh. So you can either in that situation, you'll get your third one out, guaranteed on your opponent's turn.
This is weird.
Yeah, it's weird, but
There's a lot of steps for...
it's a lot of steps for not a lot of payoff, is the thing.
It gives itself multiple ways to get to the graveyard, and then multiple ways to like set itself into the pendulum zone. Because you can just put it in the pendulum zone, but like the issue is that your opponent has to declare like a direct attack.
Yeah, but as soon as they declare that direct attack, its effect procs, and you don't take the hit.
Yeah.
Destroy itself, battle phase ends.
This also announced a number of V-Jump promo cards being reprinted in the set, which are Gaia the Fierce Knight Origin, 100 Dragon, Ida the Sun Magician, Kakathorium the Super Heavy Shining Soarer, Dragoonity Geisarm, Grozer the Thunderclap Tyrant, Zuijin of the Ice Barrier, Proxy Horse, Stay Sailor Romarin, Chosai the Ghost Blocker, and Nauruz Elise the Dragon of Beauty and Faith. I'm just going to say most of those haven't even been printed yet here in the TCG.
Also, all those cards' names were translated by someone. They very specifically say on the side here,
that they were...
Username translation.
Yeah, so,
yeah, that's interesting.
Whew. That is it. That's all the new cards.
Yep, for now.
For now.
Yeah, until they, so next up, we have the full set spoiler for Brothers of Legend.
And we will tell you all about that right after we talk about our sponsor, ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana.
Great people over there in Alexandria, Louisiana.
Absolutely. So we do, of course, want to thank our sponsor, and we want to tell you all about them and the next ETB Battle City Day, which we already have the date for. It is already scheduled. We know that it is December 18th. It was the only day that made sense or worked because December the 4th is too early. December 11th is the Remote Duel YCS, and just obviously December 25th is Christmas Day. And I'm not going to be at the shop on Christmas Day.
I'm certainly not. I got other things to do.
Yeah, I have a family. So December 18th is the day. If you are within like 4 hours of us, if you're within 4 hours of Alexandria, Louisiana, come and check it out. I'm giving you a month of warning. Be there. Come see us. Come say hey. It will be advanced format. It will be fun. It will be awesome. We will be recording a live episode of the podcast. Hopefully, if we can remember the actual cords to record this time.
Yeah, the XLR cables.
Listen, anybody could have forgotten those. It could have happened to anybody. It just happened to happen to me.
You're not wrong.
So, thank you, of course, to ETB Games for supporting us, even though we are dinguses sometimes. And if you are interested and you are not within 4 hours, please, please, please check them out through their link in the description down below. And now, back to Brothers of Legend. So,
yo boy,
we have the full set list for Brothers of Legend. There are some highlights, but I think I'm just going to turbo through the set list again, like we did with Gold Series.
it's only fair.
Yeah.
I mean, also, I don't think this set has as many cards.
It does not. So I'm going to like turbo through it, and you stop me when there's something you want to talk about, okay?
Well, first off, I was going to say, let's just not part of it, just go that the Astral Starlight Rare is number 17 Leviathan.
Well,
Dragon.
the Astral Rare and one of the
Yes.
Starlights.
Is number 17 Leviathan Dragon, which is cool.
Very cool. So this card can come as either an Astral Rare or a Starlight Rare.
Like its set number is BROL-EN000.
Yeah, very cool. So this is like, for those that like open Pokemon cards and Pokemon packs, this is the equivalent of getting like the secret rare in Pokemon packs that have their, like a Pokemon pack will say, oh, well, this set contains 63 cards and the secret rare is number 64, you know, like,
Yeah.
So number 17 Leviathan Dragon EN000 is, like we said, both an Astral and a Starlight rare. Then you have Kuriba at Ultra, Kuribi at Ultra, Kuribu at Ultra, Kuribe at Ultra, Kuribabylon at Ultra. That's all the Kuribo brothers support.
I was gonna say, just say if a card is secret, because everything else in the set is Ultra.
Fair. 5-star Twilight, Yowie, Secret, Penguin Sword, D-Force, Secret, Dr. D, Dragonroid, secret. Rebirth Judgment, secret. Rebirth Judgment is interesting because that's the one that like changes the typing of all the cards in the graveyard or something.
Yeah,
It's a continuous trap.
yeah. Where like at the start during the standby, you declare a card type. All cards in the graveyards become those types.
Something like that, yeah. Ice Barrier, Ice Knight, Summon Storm, Wing Requital, secret rare.
Now that card is if you control two differently named winged beasts, pay 800, draw 2 cards.
600.
600, my bad. Pay 600, draw 2 cards. That's insane.
Yeah, if you control 2 winged beasts with different names, which is crazy because like one of the best decks in the format currently is like a winged beast focused deck.
Yeah, 2 of them actually.
2? Just one.
Half. Because you got Flow Wonderies.
Oh yeah.
And Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk, where half the deck is.
Oh, okay, I was just talking about Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk.
Oh yeah, Flow Wonderies can run this thing too.
Yeah, but they're like tier 2.
Yeah, less comfortably though, because they don't have because a lot of the Flow Wonderies effects are immediately as this effect resolves normal summon again. They can't just go normal summon, activate effect, and then keep going. They have to in-chain their effects before they can activate this.
I think Eaglin just gives you an additional normal summon that turn, so you might be able to do it in between.
That's M-Pen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so you'd have to normal summon Rabina, effective Rabina, add Eaglin, normal summon Eaglin, effective Eaglin, add M-Pen, effective M-Pen, tribute them off, boom.
Oh, okay.
Which then gives you 2 additional normal summons. And then you can get those back, and then normal summon one of them, activate.
And very importantly, if they're under Droll, they can't use this card. And they also cannot play the game, so.
I thought you could draw 2 cards. I thought you could still draw, I just couldn't add to hand under Droll.
No, I don't think you can draw cards either.
Eh.
I'm almost positive, actually. Okay, time to do a quick Google.
Yes, well, while he's doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and continue reading. Noble Knights, Shield Bearer, secret. Horse of the Floral Knights, ultra. Noble Knight, Spear Holder. Centaur Mina, secret.
Nope, cannot add cards to the from the deck to the hand in any form.
Okay.
Okay, where are we at?
Number 21, Ecole des Zones.
Okay, wait, we skipped over. Okay, the Horse of the Floral Knights is another run of support for all the
stuff, for all
the flower and rose support that we got in Synchro Storm.
Like the Chevalier de Fleur and Baroness de Fleur.
Yes. So you said Ecole des Zones, secret, Soul Binding Gate, Perry Reese map.
Which is an interesting card.
It's like a 0 attack monster support card.
Yep.
Ice Mirror, ZW Sylphid Wing, ZS Ouroboros Sage. That card's crazy. Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray, secret rare. So Zexal Catapult. So I think these cards right here are the new cards from the Utopia structure deck that they got in the OCG.
That we're apparently not getting.
All right. Silent Sea Nettle. Number 4, Stealth Kragan. Secret. I think Stealth Kragan. Oh, and then Stealth Kragan Spawn secret.
Yeah. So whenever you make the Stealth Kragan, what happens is whenever he dies, you special summon the 2 spawn. And then whenever one of the spawn dies, you special summon the Kragan back out.
Right.
Which then lets you special summon 2 more spawn if it dies, and it's just near infinite loop. Near infinite.
But I think, you run out of spawns.
Yeah, you don't run out of spawns.
Grandpa Demeto, secret rare. Dollhouse, ultra rare. Starving Venomy Dragon, secret rare. Speedward Scratch, secret rare. Lyrilusk Bird Strike, secret rare.
So Lyrilusk Bird Strike.
It's really good.
It is a searchable Dark Ruler no more.
Quick effect. It's a quick play, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it's not? I thought it was.
The only stipulation is that your opponent can respond to it with monster effects.
But other than that, it just blanks your opponent's board.
Yeah, it's literally just your negate all face-up monsters your opponent controls.
That's really good.
Yep. And it, like I said, it's searchable in Lyrilusk because it's a Lyrilusk spell card.
Toy Parade, secret rare. This card is Fluffle support. Cypher Biplane, secret rare. Cypher Interference, double exposure, secret rare. F.A.I.ting Spirit. That's weird.
It'd be pronounced Fighting Spirit, but it's Ignister support.
Yeah, it's at Ignister support. AI's Show. Appliancer Propellian, which Appliancer Conversion. So we got the Appliancer Link 1. We have Appliancer support incoming. At King Scarlet YGO, looking at you. This is for you. Altergeist Memory Gant, secret rare. Altergeist Pookery, secret rare. Altergeist Fiege Alert, secret rare. At DZeef, looking at you. And this goes very well with all of the Altergeist reprints that we got in Gold Series. Wow. Konami, look at you.
It's almost as if they planned it.
Right. Right-hand shark, left-hand shark, hidden fangs of revenge, white mirror, the icebound god, Astraltopia, Zexelfield, the deal of destiny, numbers protection, number 99 Utopia Dragonar, secret, ZS Utopic Sage, secret, number 39 Utopia, this is a new alt art.
Which just kind of looks like a floating castle.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Hyper rank up magic Utopa Force Ultra, Astral Karibo Secret, Karibo alt art. So this is like the really cool
with like the blue background. It's kind of small, going left instead of straight on like the normal art.
Yes. And so this is an ultra rare version of that alt art,
which is going to be pretty.
Very. Curryborn, Performa Pal Curry Bobble Secret Rare, Detonate, Magician Souls Secret Rare, Red Eyes Fusion Ultra Rare. Okay, this is where we start getting into like some of the crazy reprints.
I mean, you already gave 2 of them.
Yeah. So, but like from here, I'm probably, for all the ones that are like important reprints, I'm probably going to read off the rarity. So Magician Souls, like I said, is a secret rare. Magician Souls, obviously crazy. It's a legendary hero.
It's not even the craziest reprint in this set.
No, it's really not. This is a legendary duelists reprint, which is kind of crazy because this is the first time that we've actually seen legendary duelist pack reprints and not a duelist pack. So like for the Mice Valentine and the Blackwing stuff and like Urgent Schedule and all that, they did legendary duelist season 1 and legendary duelist season 2. They did not do that here. They just straight up did they
just reprinted it.
They just put it in Brothers of Legend. I mean, about time. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
It's actually been over 2 years at this point, so it's about time. Red Eyes Fusion as an ultra rare. That's a very cool reprint. It's a very cool rarity bump. Evil Hero Adusted Gold and Evil Hero Malicious Bane, both secrets.
Those were at like $200 a pop.
Malicious Banes were $180 and Adusted Golds I think were like $270.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about how expensive they were.
And now they're getting, granted they're secrets, so they're still going to be $50, $60, $80 easy.
Yeah. Still.
But there's a cheaper option now.
Yep. Thought Ruler Archfiend, Shooting Star Dragon, Starlight Road as an ultra is very cool. Number 89, Diablosis the Mind Hacker as a secret rare. That's very cool. This is a prize card. So this is the first non-prize card printing of this card. Here we go. Godarla the Mystery Dust Kaiju as an ultra rare. Very, very cool. This is obviously the first holo printing of Godarla, and now we won't have the $10 and $11 rares. Oh, so glad I offloaded mine literally at 9 a.m. when they announced this at noon. Oh.
Yeah.
Interrupted Kaiju Slumber as an ultra rare, very cool, it needed it. Kaiju Capture Mission, Adios the Underworld Squire, Adia the Heavenly Squire, the Phantom Knights of Ragged Gloves, Nibiru the Primal Being as a secret rare. This is very cool. Nibiru is no longer relegated to gold rare, ulti, or prismatic secret. For those that do not like prismatic secret,
yeah,
you can run
a normal secret.
Exactly. And I'm just gonna say I've seen it, like the spoilers. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Infernoid Decatron as an ultra rare. Inferno Tierra as a secret rare. Shoutouts to Legacy Crusaders. These are very cool reprints, and they're nice. I think it's a rarity bump to Tierra. I could be wrong. But it's very cool reprints. These cards were actually getting really up there in price. Wind Up Arsenal Zenmayo as an ultra rare. This is actually kind of cool. Because this card only had 1 printing and 1 reprint, which just came in, I think, King's Court as a rare. So, because it's either a secret or a rare right now. And the secrets, I think, are still like $10, $15.
Yeah.
Insector Exabeetle, this could be a reprint coming in with the Insector support coming in, I think, Grand Creators.
Yeah.
Downard Magician, this card needed a reprint badly.
And like it had what was it, a $15 gold rare? And not premium gold.
No. The gold secret rare was $40.
Yeah, and not even, well, when I got mine, it was 15.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
Yeah, and not even like a premium gold rare or anything. No, it's the old
gold secret rare
where they kind of look like they're just dirty.
You know, you say that. Them gold secret rares are really growing on me.
Fair.
So that's an ultra rare, which is very cool. Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, as an ultra rare. This is cool. This is Beatrice's first non-gold rare printing. You believe that? That's crazy to me.
I mean, I think that's the case with the vast majority of the Burning Abyss monsters, though.
No, most of them were originally printed as a rare.
Yeah, and then reprinted as a gold rare.
Yeah, most of them don't have hollow printings other than that.
Yeah.
Then you have Relinquished Anima as a secret rare. This is a cool up rarity, and this card was like a sneaky $15 card, which I just got back for $15. Dang it. Allure of Darkness as an ultra rare, very nice. This was quietly a $4 card for the commons. Fossil Dig as an ultra rare, very cool. Quietly a kind of expensive card. Forbidden Droplet as a secret rare. We already know this is short printed.
Yep.
Don't get too high in hopes. It'll probably be
80, 90.
60 or 70, I think. But
I'm thinking 80. I'm thinking closer to 80.
all right, price predictions right now. Give me a number.
80.
80?
I was just saying, $80.
I'm going 69. Nice.
Yeah.
And I will say also, I'm just going to put it out there. I'll put it public on the record. My official price prediction for Access Code Talker out of the gold was $17. I did not realize they were printing it at less than half quantity. So that's an L for me.
Yeah.
I publicly went on the record saying $17 for Access Code Talker. I was wrong.
To be fair, if we were getting, the full amount of the set, it probably would.
Okay, so like
probably not.
Maybe if we actually got the full set.
And not less than half. Also, the card's short printed in the set.
That's what I mean. Like, if the card wasn't short printed,
in a set that's already going to be short printed.
Yeah, like Gold Series as a set, they're having trouble getting the card stock for, and there's massive quality control issues.
Massive.
So,
I've seen them on Twitter. They're kind of funny.
Did you see the Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill?
I did. She looks so depressed.
I would be too. She's looking down at her text box and it's just covered in gold foiling. You literally cannot read a single word in the text box.
Yeah.
And then it's literally got an Elemental Hero Neos outline on her art.
Yep.
Oh, I would be so mad.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd be so happy because it went for $1,000. But I would be so mad.
Because it's a super cool, misprint, but...
Yeah. But I want my card.
I want my card.
Yeah. Next is Rank Up Magic Argent Chaos Force Resurgam Xyz Void Feast as an ultra rare, very cool. And the last card in the set, we finally did it, boys. We got our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon reprint. Woo! Oh wait, it's only as a Starlight.
Only as a Starlight.
Dag nabbit.
Rough. Anyway, so overall, I'm definitely going to buy some of the set because I buy a little bit of every set.
This man really just said that sucks. Anyways.
No, I said that's rough. Anyways, I'm gonna buy a little bit of this set. But like I said, I do buy a little bit of every set so I can get the container.
Yeah, like one box of everything.
Yeah, just so I can have the container for display because they look pretty.
I'm just gonna say, they have some of the spoilers for some of the secret rares and stuff on here.
They look nice.
The foiling and the printing on at least the EU versions look really good.
It remains to be seen for the North American versions.
Oh no, I can see it. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be worth.
Yeah, it's gonna be disappointing. But it is what it is.
Everything North American is disappointing.
Anyway,
Caleb's like, I'm not touching that one.
Wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch that with a 49 and 1/2 foot pole. 'Tis the season. Anyway.
It's a 39.5 foot
Thank
pole.
you, 39.
Come on, man.
It's been a decade.
Man, what? How do you not know the Grinch lyrics? I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5 foot pole.
Bruh, it's literally been like 10 years since I've heard that song. No cap.
I watched it twice in the last 3 days.
Which one?
Okay, so the one in the last 3 days has been the new one from 2 years ago. The Illumination one.
Ugh.
Don't me. That was really good. Benedict Cumberbatch did a good job.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think he did a wonderful job.
That movie was super funny.
But it will never, ever outdo the live action one.
The Jim Carrey version?
The Jim Carrey version.
Oh, Lord, dude. That one. That one's my wife's favorite.
You know how they say that this actor always just eats the scene.
Every scene in the movie,
he devours.
Oh my goodness! So okay,
chews it into oblivion.
All right, this is actually just a Grinch review podcast now. So let's talk. Let's talk for a minute about the Illumination Grinch. And I know. Everybody's like, get back to the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm honestly more interested in this. So
we'll spend like a minute at most on this.
Okay, I'm just gonna say we went and saw the 2018 version in theaters with my son. Keep in mind, he is 2, almost 3 while we're watching this, okay? We go in, by the way, the soundtrack is amazing. They got Tyler, the Creator, to do the Grinch music.
Amazing soundtrack.
It's awesome. Bass drops and everything. It's great. So we get to the end of the movie, and spoilers, if you've never seen the movie from the 1960s, The Grinch, but near the end of the movie, The Grinch, there's a scene where he takes the entire town of Whoville's Christmas on a sleigh up to the top of Mount Who. And what does he do? He takes and he's about to push it off the top of the mountain to destroy Christmas. And then he hears the whole town singing. And it's like, wow, it just touches him and it makes his heart grow 3 sizes. Well, as all this like magical like reformation is happening in his heart, the sleigh starts to tip over and starts to fall. And he like has to like catch it and save the day. Well, when it starts to tip over in theaters, my 2-year-old son goes, "Oh no!" at the top of his voice. And the whole theater is like all the kids have either fallen asleep or like gotten into the movie at this point. So like it's actually quiet at a kid's movie in the theater. And he goes, "Oh no, what is he gonna do?" Like loud. And the whole theater just busts out laughing. Yep, the 2018 version will always be my favorite off of that memory.
No, that's entirely fair. That's a family memory. That's
gonna stick with me forever.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that I've reminisced a little bit about the Grinch, let's talk more about
some tournaments.
Oh, that's the next thing. Oh man, I was lost. I did not even remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, okay, so you want to do the core TCG Regional.
Okay, we're going to blow through these tournaments because we don't actually have the...
deck lists or anything, like full deck lists. Or
Right.
For some of these, I only have the full top 8. I got like 6 of them.
Yeah, so...
But I can kind of extrapolate based on complete data, which ones go where.
Right. So the first one to talk about is the core TCG Regional for... like I said, this all happened on... the weekend of... it's time to open my calendar. I should have had this pulled up and ready to go. Why did I not know?
We're professionals.
We are so professional. It can't get more professional than we are right now. Okay, so this happened on the weekend of the 13th and 14th. So all these regionals happened on Sunday, November 14th. So like 10 days ago at time of air.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is core TCG. You're going to recognize some of these names because these are all remote duel regionals, and these are the regionals. These are a lot of the same shops that host servers for the remote duel YCS. So, core TCG, top 8 is 3 Sword Soul, 2 Fluwanderees, 1 Dogmatica Invoke Shadal, 1 Dry Turon, 1 Salamangreat. The really interesting thing about this, though, is that's 5 of the top 8
being brand new decks
being represented from Burst of Destiny.
Also, no Tri-Brigade
at all, which is not conducive of the rest of the statistics. So
now the 2 Sword Soul. Okay, so one of the Sword Souls got first place.
Yes,
it was with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer and 2 Tenya cards. It was the red one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognize it. And then the other Sword Soul, which got 4th, was with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, no Tenyi, but was running a copy of Arch Nemesis Protoss.
Which is an interesting card. I just think it's bad. So,
yeah.
Come at me, I guess.
Yeah. And then 6th place was Salamangreat.
Yes. So, we have, yes. Well, not 6th place, but, like... the other deck.
Yeah. So because there's 2 other decks that I didn't get, like 7th and 8th place was in between the 3rd Sword Soul and Salamangreat.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know which one goes where, so I just kind of
okay. So we just did
That was,
placings. You just did the placings 1 through 6 for the.
Yeah, because I didn't get 7 or 8, but I know one is Sword Soul and the other one is Salamangreat.
Okay, but the other interesting thing is that the Sword Soul that got first and fourth were both running DPE.
Yeah.
So that is interesting.
And I don't know if the third one was running it at all.
Okay. Then we have the 1UP Tcg Regional. So this is 1UP Tcg, which is in Mendenhall, Mississippi. For those that don't know, it's about a 4-hour trip for us. They do a case tournament for basically every new set, and it is an amazing shop. Fry runs this shop. He does an amazing job. If you're within 5 or 6 hours of Mendenhall, Mississippi, I absolutely recommend checking this shop out in person. He has like ultis and starlights and like high-end stuff of like all kinds of cards that you would not expect. I mean, I went in there and I literally told him, like, I went through all of like their, not all, but I went through a lot of their bulk for all of their hollow extra deck cards. And I was like, I need an Orient Dragon. Like, as weird as that sounded, I needed it for my spare Plant Synchro extra deck.
I needed an Assembled Nightingale before all the Lyrillist stuff that got announced.
Yes. I walked up there. I said, dude, I went through all your bulk. I said, I need an Orient Dragon. He said, oh, the old Synchro, right? It comes in Secret and Ultra. He said, you looking for the Secret or the Ultra? And I'm like, how does he know what Orient Dragon? I said, I'm looking for the Ultra, the cheap one. He said, okay, cool. 1 second. Click, got on the computer. Yeah, I thought so. Walks over to a wall. A wall.
Boxes.
Yeah, a wall of boxes. I'm talking 8 feet high and 15 feet across. Goes, runs his fingers over the boxes. This one. Grabs the box, opens it up, flips right to it, grabs it. Goes, yep, got 3 copies right here. How many do you want? Just the one, thanks. Like, this dude's got everything. And that's not to mention, they have all of the really, really nice OCG sleeves and deck boxes. Oh,
amazing shop.
It's a mecca. It's a wonderful. But this was their remote dual regional. So, first place was Eldritch. Very interesting. I hate Eldritch as it's being built right now, which is just like 80 million trap cards. Number 2 is Sword Soul Tenyi. I believe this is DZeef.
Yeah, I think that was DZeef.
Number 3 is Pure Sword Soul, or at least it just says Sword Soul. We don't know if there's Tenyi in this or not.
No.
Okay, see, Caleb saw the deck lists. I did not.
Yeah. It had Protoss, and that was it.
Oh, okay.
Archnemesis Protoss. I didn't see any other cards I recognize as.
Gotcha. Number 4 is Fluwanderees. Number 5 is PK Fire, the first appearance, but not the last. 6 is yet another Sword Soul.
Pure Sword Soul this time. It was pure.
Yep. 7 is Virtual World, and 8 is also Virtual World. Shoutouts to Dylan from Team Dark Arm Dealings. He is the 8th place deck here, Virtual World. You can always go in and check out Team Dark Arm Dealings. Their link will be in the description below. This is a cool list. This is also shouted out on MCole40's channel. So if you want to see that list, it was on last Thursday's MCole40 video.
Now, the next one, I couldn't get like a shop name or anything for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it literally just says World Championship Qualifier Regional.
Yeah. So this is 1 Tri-Brigade, 1 Sword Soul, 1 Layer Control, and 1 Fluwanderees. What is Layer Control? What is that?
It's a card. Cam was talking about it.
Layer of Darkness?
Layer of Darkness Control.
Never heard of it. Sounds interesting, though.
Okay, so first place was Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, Invoke Dogmatica Shadal. So
wait, what is this? What are these 4 decks listed then?
Oh, that was me kind of arranging them and being like, okay, this goes here, blah blah blah.
Oh, okay.
Based on the deck list.
Gotcha.
So first place went to DPE IDS. So Destroy Phoenix. So it's Invoke Shadal Dogmatica with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer package.
I'm just gonna say, from everything that I'm hearing, this is the best version of Invoke Dogmadal that has existed to this day.
Yeah.
The Destroy Phoenix Enforcer package in this deck, from what I understand, is legitimately insane. It covers all the final bases that the deck didn't cover before.
Mm-hmm. Second place was either Sword Soul or Fluwanderees. I couldn't figure out which.
Gotcha.
Third place went to Tri-Brigade Lyrilisk.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth place went to Virtual World Sword Soul.
This is an interesting deck. This is the Virtual World deck, and they tech in a small Sword Soul package, which is like...
It's like 1 Mo Yi, 1 of the other one.
Well, 1 Mo Yi, 3 Emergence, and I think maybe 1 of the level 6 guy.
Actually, this guy was running 1 Mo Yi, 1 of the other level 4 one.
Taie.
1 Long One,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 Emergence.
I mean, it makes sense, because it's just like easy Baron to Fleur plays.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. And then we have Lightsworn Eldritch, which was Eldritch, but it was running Lila, Lumina, and Raiden.
Very cool concept. I haven't seen anybody do it, but it makes sense when you think about it, because realistically what they're going to do is they're going to rely on the Lightsworn engine to mill all their Eldritch traps and get their engine online.
But then you can also use... So then, like, let's say your opponent activates, I don't know, Royal Decree or something like that. You can just normal summon the Lila, activate her effect to pop it.
Yeah,
It gives you outs to back row, to
yes,
anti back row, back row. Then it was Layer Control. I don't know how the deck works. All I know is it revolves around Layer of Darkness. And then 7th place was Sword Solar Flunderies. Couldn't figure out which one.
Yeah, so like whichever one got second, the other one got 7th.
8th place was Tri-Brigade Lyrilisk with Icarus Attack.
Oh, that's so funny. I love it.
But can you imagine your opponent thinks they stopped you and you have a Lyrilisk on board and you pass your turn and then you just Icarus attack them?
Amazing.
Tribute it off. Pop, pop.
Yes. So next we have a Tables and Towers. This is a Burst of Destiny case tournament. So the top 16.
Well, finally, this is the last one I was able to get.
We do have today's LCS also. We are going to talk about that.
Wonderful.
Okay, so we have the Tables and Towers Burst of Destiny case tournament. So the top 16 consists of 5 Sword Soul, 3 Fluanderies, 2 Tri-Brigade, 2 Virtual World, 1 Sky Striker, 1 Evil Twin, 1 Cyber Dragon, and 1 Hero. The top 8 in order. Number 1, Virtual World. Number 2, Sky Striker.
Running Alpha, the Master of Beasts, in the main.
This makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because it's like Sky Striker... A lot of people, I'm not saying this is the correct way to play it right now, but a lot of people want to play it as like a going second control strategy. And it is a control strategy. There's no denying that. But a lot of people want to play it as like a going second board breaker. And it's very cool. The third is Virtual World. This one's running Dark Ruler No Mores and Chalices in the main, which
is cool.
Honestly, it might just be correct these days. 4 is Evil Twins. 5 is Sword Soul. So this is the Tangy build, but they're also running Ecclesia, which is different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see that deck list, because I didn't pick up these Ecclesias for nothing.
It's on M. Cole's channel.
Okay. 6 is Cyber Dragon. 7 is Fluanderies. And 8 is Lyrilisk Tri-Brigade. Wow. The top 8 is literally 7 different decks.
But also keep in mind that only 1 of the 5 Sword Soul made it to top 8. 1 of the 5. I mean,
that's crazy.
4 of them didn't make it.
That's crazy. All right. So that is it for all of those tournaments. And then today, which as of recording, this is Sunday what's today's date?
Oh, it is...
The 21st.
Yeah, 21st.
All right. So this is Sunday the 21st. We had the LCS today, which is the Luxury Championship Series. It is a dueling book tournament. It is played in advanced format. It's really cool, I guess. It's very popular. There's this free entry, and there was like 3 or 4 cases, and it was all not sponsored or set up by, but Pack was like a big part of it. I think he did
huge part of it.
Yeah, I think he did commentary and stuff. So number 1, we have Lyrilisk. This is after Swiss.
Yeah.
After Swiss is this? Okay, so just
top 16 after
if it
Swiss.
If it says Lyrilisk, it is Lyrilisk Tri-Brigade. It is not pure.
Not yet. Not without a couple other cards.
So number 1, I'm just gonna say Bird Up.
Yeah.
Bird Up or Lyrilisk Tri-Brigade. 2, Invoked. 3, which this is like Invoke Dogma Doll.
Invoke Shadal Dogmatica. Blah blah.
With
blah.
a DPE package specifically. 3, Machina. Which
does it mean MIT?
I think it was more like a Machina control deck.
Ooh.
Yeah. 4, Invoked. 5, Invoke Shadal. 6, Pendulum. This is Triff. 7, Lyrilisk. 8, Lyrilisk. 9, Dragon Link. I can't get rid of it. It's like a disease. 10, Invoked. 11, Scrap Orchest. This is just literally just machine pile. 12, Sword Soul. 13, PK. 14, Adamancipator. 15, Tri-Brigade Melfi. Oh, God, yes. And 16, Eldritch. I'm just going to say, of these, all of those invoked lists, as well as the, I want to say the PK list, and maybe one of the Sword Soul lists, are all running the DPE package. Not a single Dragoon in top 16.
Lord.
Oh, in 17th place, we do know this because I was watching the subathon, was MBT. His first round opponent was a no-show.
Oh, no.
And so, because of that, his tiebreakers sucked, and he bubbled out.
Literally just bubbled out if he was at 17th. Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. So, okay, that's the top 16 from the LCS. I know first place was Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk.
Yeah.
And yes, this deck is so good.
I know, right?
And the Invoke Dogma Doll deck with running the DPE package is insane. So good. So, there actually is one more regional that I want to talk about. This regional took place at the last weekend, the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the regional from the Netherlands that Tatsum, he compiled all the information for this.
Okay.
He has an amazing breakdown for this regional. He talks about the complete breakdowns of all of the decks, the percentages, as well as the breakdowns for the top cut, and even some of the little trends within deck building. Awesome breakdown and meta analysis. We'll put a link to this in the description below because Tatsum is awesome, to be completely honest, and you should already be following Tatsum. So we have the full breakdown here. 12.3% is Sword Soul, 10.8% is Phantom Knights, 10.8% Eldritch, 9.2% Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk, 7.7% Virtual World, 6.2% Drytron, 4.6% Altergeist, 4.6% Invoke Dogma Doll, 3.1% Salamangrate, 3.1% Tri-Brigade, no Lyrilusk, 3.1% Fluanderies, and 24.6% Other. So this is going to represent your total overall field. This is every deck at the event. Top 16 consisted of, if I'm reading this correctly, two Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk, 2 Invoke Dogma Doll, 1 Madolche, 1 Sword Soul, 1 Virtual World, 1 Drytron, 1 Altergeist, 1 Numeron OTK, 1 Salamangrate, 1 Tri-Brigade, 1 Fluanderies, 1 Dinosaur, 1 Zodiac, and 1 Phantom Knight. Wow. This is maybe the most diverse format we've had in a long time, whether you like it or not. So, some really interesting information. The most popular hand traps, main deck, were most popular was Infinite Impermanence, followed by Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, followed by Psyframe Gear Gamma. After that, it was Nibiru and Droll.
Interesting.
And in the side deck, the most popular hand traps were Lancia and Droll, followed by Nibiru and Red Reboot.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Definitely some fascinating information in there.
Yes. As far as utility spells and traps, the most common main deck one was Pot of Desires. Next was next was Triple Tactics Talent, then Pot of Prosperity, then a tie of Crossout Designator and Called By, and then you have a little bit of Twin Twisters and a little bit of Imperial Order.
I mean, with the Crossout Designators and Called By, it's probably because everyone who's running one was also running the other.
Yeah. So, and then
both.
The most popular side deck options were Twin Twisters, and Imperial Order wasn't like a ton of side decks. So, as far as board breakers, the main ones you're looking at are Forbidden Droplet was pretty popular in the main deck, but really the most popular ones in the side deck were Lightning Storm and Dark Ruler No More.
Ooh.
So, and then as far as extra deck cards, the most popular ones were Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus, Sky Thunder, And then Almirage, Appaloosa was very popular. Abyss Dweller, Utopic Draco Future, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and Access Code Talker were all actually run at the same number. And then
it's like a 4-way tie.
yes, and then Destroy Phoenix Enforcer was last. But this was last weekend. This weekend, I think if you did that number, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer would be like a lot higher.
Probably up there with Zeus.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, like that's probably the only card that's run more than it is probably exactly Zeus.
Yeah.
And that's a maybe.
Yeah. Whew. Wow. That was an information-packed episode.
Yep.
That one is one that everybody should listen to, like, I don't know, it's 6-7 times to be safe.
Oh, definitely. Got to make sure you absorb all this information.
Right. We're not trying to pad our numbers or anything, I swear. So the last thing to do is the podcast question of the day. So last week's podcast, or last episode's podcast question of the day was, do you remember your first Yu-Gi-Oh tournament ever? How did it go? Do you have any funny or interesting stories that stick out? We got some pretty cool replies. So first we're going to do from the Discord server. So we got some awesome stories here. We had somebody talking about playing Armed Dragons and Black Flame Dragon, and they somehow like got top 3 with that. Here's one that was brought a Magician structure deck to a jump, like a SJC.
Oh boy!
And they got destroyed by 6 Sams, Perfect Circle Monarchs, and Diamond Dude Turbo.
Of course.
But they had fun, and that's the most important thing. Here's one. My first one was I played Dark Worlds at a locals that's no longer there called Packards. I was in the 9th grade, and it was around 2010. My buddy and I had a great time. Dude,
hey,
I feel that.
Hey, man, it's a decent deck to...
At 2010, it was good.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I feel that. I think I was in 8th grade, played Agent Fairies, and almost topped, but lost game 3 of my final round in Swiss and missed out on top 8. Agent Fairies were good back in the gap.
Mm-hmm.
My first tourney was in a local card store in the days when Gladiator Beast and Lightsworns were the best decks at the time. 2009? 8?
Ish.
9? I remember going in with my poor kitty build of Ancient Gear gadgets. I obviously didn't perform well, but a person saw me and saw that I wasn't doing well, came up to me and decided to upgrade my deck without hesitation. Gave me a Machina Ancient Gear build that teched in magical hats to abuse Geartown's effect. Then gave me the idea to abuse Ultimate Offering with my gadgets because it wasn't banned yet. With that person helping me, it made me perform better and also made me enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! To this day. That's awesome. My first actual tournament was only 2 months ago, maybe 3 now. My history was all Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! In middle school. I played pure Subterra, went 1-3. Beat Madolche. Final Battle is a ridiculous card. That was Farah. Did he beat you?
I don't think so. I don't remember Final Battle ever getting flipped on me.
It's the field spell.
Yeah, I don't remember it ever being activated.
No, wait, that's Hidden City. Final Battle's the trap. Okay.
Okay, I don't remember it ever being flipped.
2019, in a locals in a city I went to college in. I was on a budget salad special, and I hand-trapped a PK Fire player to death, because Valor's at once per turn. I striked a pen summon, then got clapped in the mirror by Super Poly and Boral Sword, and got engaged on by Striker. It was a good time. I'm still friends with the people I got back into the game with. Here's one. The first and only organized tournament, quote-unquote, because there's only 6 or 8 of us, I went to was almost 20 years ago at my local card store in a small town, around when Starter Deck Yu-Gi and Kaiba came out. I don't remember much since I was in primary school, but I do remember pointing out to an older kid that was sitting next to me that we both had one of the same cards in our hands. And I very clearly remember him just looking at me and then looking back at his game. I don't remember how well I did in the event, but I haven't really played since then. I only got back into the game a few weeks ago. Wow. That's awesome.
Nice.
You know,
you love to hear stories like that.
Yeah, I really love to hear when we have people that are like really new to the game, listening to the podcast and talking to us. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the Twitter account. So the replies on Twitter are a little bit shorter. There's character limits here. So
yeah.
Beast Down Exodia with Manticore, Painful Choice, Safe Return combo for Exodia WinCon. I was 12. This was like 02 or 03. Got second place in my first ever locals, and my mom and dad didn't believe me. I played a Joey starter deck with a few extra cards like Black Skull Dragon. I learned what Yatagarasu was for the first time and had a nightmare of a murder of them pecking me the same night. Woo! Whew, haven't we all had that one? I was 14 years old, regional at King's Games in Brooklyn, playing a mishmash 40 pile of random spellcasters and warriors. I thought I was going to win it all. Little did I know how wrong I was. Dude, I'm just telling you, you did better than me. My first one was a 40 pile mishmash, or a 60 card pile mishmash of warrior spellcasters and polymerizations. My goal was to hard draw that with 3 of polymerization in a 60 card deck.
Yep.
With the materials. This was like 2010. This was like not like 2004.
Not even 2010.
It was like 09.
Yeah.
First ever tournament for me was YCS Atlanta 2019. Oh man. Went undefeated the first 4 matches with Thunder Dragons, and we were the feature match for round 5. We lost that round and all our games after that. But overall, it was a really great experience, and I can't wait to do it again. That's awesome. First tournament ever. YCS. Go in 3v3 with your buddies. Go undefeated through 4 rounds. Vibing. Killing it. Proceed to lose every match for the rest of the day, including your feature match. That's tough. That's a boohoo times 2.
Rough, buddy.
This one's awesome. So this is Joe Giorlando at Yu-Gi-Oh!_history on Twitter. A spectacular content creator. He is actually one of, if not my favorite content creator in the space right now. He does awesome historical deck profiles, and the community's better because of it. Now, I know the name of my first opponent. He helped me after my match by telling me to take the 2400 2000 2 Tribute Elephant out of my deck. He suggested I try a more focused theme. Hey, elephants are cool, man.
And you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. 2002 or 2003, I was 8 and go with my cousins to a local tournament. First game, my opponent drew all pieces of Exodia to open up, and I thought I witnessed history. Needless to say, I had a blast and would learn that people cheat to win in life. Yu-Gi-Oh! Gives us life lessons. That's true. Right in the heart of Chaos Emperor Dragon and Yada Lock. I had to have been 13 at the time. I was not prepared for the absolute butt kicking. I learned the power of Breaker, Reflect Bounder, Amazon Swordswoman. It was a soul-crushing event, but it hooked me and my competitive drive. I respect that. I played at like 8 or 9 years old at a flea market and got first place, and my friend's older brother was mad.
Ooh.
Always fun. 2003, got 4th place with a Fire Beatdown deck built around Darkfire Soldier 1 and 2 and Molten Destruction. I still have the deck. That's cool. I'm looking for the deck profile in the comments. I must have been 10 or 12, give or take. All I remember was Priya Rada Bazoo was an absolute menace, and I accidentally took home someone's Parasite. Dude,
Whoops.
you shovel that thing into your deck, it could be anywhere. I was 13 in 2014 format. New challengers just dropped, and I brought budget Lightsworn rulers to locals. Round 1, my opponent summoned Herald of Ultimateness through Advanced Virtual Art, and he had multiple fairies in hand. Still went 2-2 for the first time, was super happy about it. It's way better than I did.
Yeah.
It was an online tourney, and I lost round 1 against MBT on Weather Painters. Hey, he do be painting the weather. When the weather is painted. I was probably 10 years old, so I do not remember. Fair. My first Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament was, from what I can piece together, right after Teledad format because I played against both Glad Beasts and Lightsworn. Came in with a 200-card deck, sleeved in worn-down penny sleeves. Whew. Definitely had 3 Great Sphinxes in the pile. You know what? We all started somewhere. Back in 2007, I went to my first tournament. I was 9, and I was playing an Elemental Hero deck, I believe. I got bodied by everyone, but everyone was really nice. I was using cheap sleeves, and this really nice player bought me some nicer sleeves that he uses and was super kind. That's awesome. I love hearing stories like that.
We take those.
We take those. I had someone hard summon an Ultimate Falcon on me. We lose those. I was 15. I came with 1 agent structure deck with some cards added. My deck was composed with Bandai cards and for sure more than 40 cards. Some player helped me improve the deck and it was very fun. I remember my first tournament. They checked my deck and had to remove 20 fake cards, and then I had to use a makeshift deck with all the real cards I had. One memory I had was summoning Beta the Magnet Warrior and using Shield and Sword to like swap attacks to attack an opponent's DD Warrior Lady, essentially weakening his own monster and strengthening the opponent's and wasting the card. I ended up coming last, but I had a lot of fun, and my mom gave me $20 to buy some cool cards, including a structured deck Kaiba First Blue Eyes for $10.
Nice.
Very nice. That's the superior artwork. Wow. I know that was a lot of stories, and that's we spent like 10 minutes on it already, which is like way more than we normally spend, but
these are all nice stories.
yeah, we were getting some of the stories we were getting and their replies. I was like, dude, these are awesome. I love hearing people's memories like this, and I love hearing about this, and I just had to. So
it gives you the warm fuzzies.
Absolutely. Whew. With that,
the actual new question of the day.
Right. So this is today's podcast question of the day. If you want to answer and get your story or whatever, your answer, whatever you want to put, if you want to get it read, be sure to answer it either on our Twitter at Top Cut Podcast or on our Discord server, which you will find if you go to our Twitter page. Our pinned post is a link to our Discord server. So, what is your favorite set of all time? This could be a core set. This could be a side set. This could be a reprint set. You want to tell me Hidden Arsenal is your set of a favorite set for some reason? That's fine.
Go for it.
Go for it. I won't believe you, but you can tell me that. I mean, whatever.
I mean, if somebody's favorite card is like Trishul or Catastor,
then they should be happy with Hidden Arsenal. I mean, with the dual terminals. Not Hidden Arsenal. Hidden Arsenals. Boo-boo. Anyway, mine, I'm just going to say, it's kind of weird. I have like two. My favorite from when we played the game back in the Gap was Return of the Duelist, because this was the introduction of the Geargia archetype. So I was a big fan of Geargias. Geargia Armor, Geargia Accelerator, which was broken, Gear Gigant X, all released in Return of the Duelist. As well as you also had, what's it called? Some of the Madolches, a lot of Madolches were introduced here.
Yeah, this is where we got Pudding Cess. This is where we got Magellin. The only main parts of the deck we didn't get at that point, we didn't have Queen yet, we didn't have Ticket yet, and we didn't have Messengelado yet.
Right, three very important parts. What this also introduced was the spell books. So Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, High Priestess of Prophecy, Temperance of Prophecy, as well as all the spellbook cards. Then you also had Grand Soil, the Elemental Lord, now banned. You had Soul of Silver Mountain, which was a usable rank 3 back in the day. Mm-hmm. Fairy King Alverditch.
Alverditch.
I could never say it.
Listen, back in the day, I actually ran a deck that can make it. I never said it the same way twice.
The Fairy King, yeah. You just say the Fairy King, like all you do.
For a while there, I called him Fairy King, blah blah blah.
Pretty much.
And people went, yeah, Fairy King, blah blah blah.
I know that guy. And then you also have all the Spellbook of Secrets, Spellbook of Power, Life, Wisdom, whatever.
One of the most powerful archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh's history.
That deck would have been tier 0 if Dragon Rulers hadn't existed.
Literally, if exactly Dragon Ruler hadn't existed.
Yeah, and Dragon Rule would have been tier 0 if exactly Spellbook of Judgment hadn't existed, which that card's not out yet, but anyway.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, it's actually the set came out after that, Abyss Rising. Mm-hmm. Because that's where we got Abyss Dweller, one of the best rank 4s in the game to this day.
Yes.
But it's also where we got introduced to Ticket, Queen, arguably one of the most powerful rank 4 exceeds in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good.
Yeah. Again, it's arguably.
Yes.
If you discount making it, it is. Easily.
Yeah.
You just gotta make the damn thing. This is where we got Messengelado. This is where Madolche became OTK the deck.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because with just literally Mufuel Magellin, you could OTK pretty easily.
Right.
It was ridiculous. You could also make Soul of Silver Mountain and just say, hey, that back row, can't use it. Why?
Because I said so.
Because I said so, that's why.
Right.
Because forget you and your back row. Forget it. Whatever. You could run Grand Soil because you could very easily manipulate
all your graveyard.
Yeah, your graveyard, so it's really easy to drop him. Later you could run Redox.
Absolutely.
For the exact same reason. Overall, Abyss Rising it's also the set I got the most of. On accident. just because for a while that's all they gave it. That's all they gave out at tournaments.
Yes.
For like entry and stuff was just Abyss Rising.
Well, this is the set that we probably played the most competitive Yu-Gi-Oh during.
That too.
So this is what we got most of at locals.
Yeah.
And like we went to regionals and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's my old set answer was Return of the Duelist. Honestly, I have like a whole different answer since we came back into the game, which is Phantom Rage. I love the Tri-Brigade strategy. I really do. It might be my favorite deck I've ever played. I really like Tri-Brigades, and that's when they were introduced. And Phantom Rage was a crazy set, including Zeus and Alpha Master Beast. It also introduced the entire Tri-Brigade archetype and the entire Virtual World archetype. So, but that's just me. I know I'm probably weird for having two like that, but when you play the game like with a 7-year gap in the middle, it's like two different eras.
Oh yeah, it's almost two completely different games.
It basically is.
But like with similar mechanics to a game that you played when you were younger?
I mean, like barely.
Barely. It still has the normal summon.
I mean, technically, yeah.
And we both start with 8,000 life points.
And you start with 5 cards in your hand, although at this, now you don't draw one anymore, but when we quit, you still drew one. So.
Yeah. But they had already announced that they were going to change that. They had already announced
that is true. They did definitely actually already announce that they were changing that.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, I think the regional that happened immediately after we quit was when they stopped doing it.
It was when they started doing the next master roll when they introduced pendulums.
Yeah.
So
So it was literally the next regional after we quit.
Yeah, that's about right. All right, well, that's gonna wrap us up for everybody. I know it's a bit longer episode than usual, but
we had a lot. We were catching back up on a lot of information.
Yeah, and we spent a lot of time on the podcast question, but
yeah.
Thank you everybody for listening. As usual, please be sure to check us out on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. Check out ETB Games. Their link will be in the description. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. Check out Team Dark Arm Dealings. Their link will also be in the description. Check out our Discord, which you can find an invite link to on our Twitter. And if that link doesn't work, please DM us and I'll send it to you. Please be sure to check out our Patreon if you haven't already. We have tiers as low as $1. It costs very little to support the podcast, and we appreciate everyone who supports. And just for the $1 tier, you get your name read off in the podcast intro. I think that'll wrap us up. If you're on Spotify, please be sure to follow us on Spotify for our regular updates every Tuesday and every Friday when we post our episode, even on holidays. We're just that committed. So please be sure to go ahead and follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple iTunes. If you're following us there, please be sure to leave us a review and a rating. It absolutely helps us get found when people search for us. Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast on Spotify and Apple iTunes. It helps us get found easier, and it helps people see who we are. So thank you, everybody, for listening, and have a wonderful rest of your Thanksgiving holiday.
Take care, everyone.